Hey guys, it's Tony. Welcome back to the channel. Got back from our family vacation in San Diego on Tuesday. Had a great last half of the week. Things went well on vacation, all safe and sound. Driving was great. Back looking at some cards. So I'm going to show you 5 cards I picked up in the last month or so, and these 5 cards all have something in common. They're all inspired by another member of our community who I'll talk about when I flip the camera around. Really cool, unique finds on eBay, and just tweaking a keyword search brought them to my attention, but again, was inspired first by another member of our group I'll talk about later when the camera's turned around. So 5 cards there, early 50s baseball, and then I got a gift in the mail, a care package from another great YouTube channel. I'll talk about him, show the cards off, and a big thanks to him ahead of time too for thinking of me and giving me these cards. So show them off as well in the video too. So it's Friday night. This will probably come out Saturday morning. So I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you the cards. All right, see you soon. Hey guys, camera's turned around. Let's look at some baseball cards. First up, 5 cards, 1953 Bowman color. And these cards in particular were inspired by our very own Mookie Chilson. Never met Mookie in person. Look forward to meeting him at Strongsville or maybe another card show next year. But he's had a couple of videos, at least a couple, maybe before I even joined YouTube, more videos, on his collecting of and interest in 53 Bowman color baseball cards with writing on the back. And the writing is not just any writing, it's actually filling in the statistics on the back of the card in a blank line where kids were meant to fill in the stats for the 1953 year. So I'm going to show you a couple cards here that have the backs filled in. I've got 3 cards first. I'll put them here and we will talk about them individually. So these are the 3 cards out of the 5. You've got Ted Kluszewski, Carl Erskine, and Billy Lowe's, all in probably VG, good to VGX condition. These all came from the same dealer, same vendor on eBay. I ended up typing in one night 53 Bowman, writing 53 Bowman baseball marks, writing on the back, marks on the back, all kinds of ways that could go together, and these came up as part of a lot. And I looked at them, and we'll talk about the players and what the stats say on the back. So let's start with Ted Kluszewski. So here's his card, again known for his either sleeveless jerseys or his arms and shoulders and forearms showing. They're here with the Cincinnati Reds. And here's the back. Number 62, got some creasing, got a mark, but look at the stats. Someone took the time to fill these in. And just like Mookie has taught me and taught a lot of us, this was, I think, intended for kids, adults who had cards to buy these during the 53 year and fill in with 53 stats. The funny thing about Ted, Billy, and Carl is that these stats are all correct. They did a really good job in pen or pencil with these stats. These stats, however, are of 1954. And again, baseballreference.com is a great resource, better than a paper almanac. But I verified each of these statistics that I think all but maybe randomly a rounded number here or there may not be right, but Ted's 49 home runs and 141 RBI, that's right. And it's 1954 though. So, someone took this card from 53, waited a year, maybe got it from a brother, found it, and decided to use those blank spots to fill in the stats from the year later, 1954. So very interesting here. And again, a little bit about each of the players too and these years. So Ted, first baseman, played 15 years mostly with the Reds. Again, known for his big shoulders, arms, and lack of sleeves in some photos. 54, the stats on the back of this card, funny enough, was his highest home run and RBI year. And he also hit 326, just like the pen says there, 326 and 54, and finished second in the MVP voting to some guy named Willie Mays. So that is Ted Kluszewski. Stats filled in on the back of 1954 and 1953 Bowman. Moving next to Carl Erskine. Shout out to my friend Ross Loves Cards. He's a big Carl Erskine guy. Let's look at the back. And there we go. Not quite filled out all the way across, but again, let's talk about Erskine. His stats aren't entirely correct, unfortunately. The 22 and 10 I don't think is correct, but the 260 innings is, and the 38 games played. So I'm not sure where the miss on the wins-loss came from, but someone did attempt to try and got some of it right. So Carl Erskine, let's see what we know about him. He played 12 years, all for the Dodgers, and like another player I'll show you, was in both Brooklyn and Los Angeles. He did pitch the most innings of his career in 54 with 260, so that's kind of cool. He ended with a 122 and 78 win-loss record. He was also an All-Star in 54 as well. And again, double shout out to Ross Love's Cards for this Carl Erskine. So stats on the back of him. And rounding out, this from the same seller on eBay, like I said, you can guess what's going to happen here. This is Billy Lowe's, and someone filled out his stats too, but the stats filled out were from, drum roll please, 1954. 54, he did go 13 and 5. He did play for several teams over 11 years, but mostly with the Brooklyn Dodgers. He was 50 and 26 in his time with Brooklyn, which is pretty darn good. And the 13 and 5 record noted on the back of the card is again from the 1954 season. So again, same seller on eBay, and I'd love to think of what the story could have been. Was it the cards just came down from a relative, or a kid found them a year later and just had access to 54 stats and didn't know 53s? So either way, interesting that these were used for maybe a year that wasn't quite intended. But again, really cool find on eBay, changing up the search terms. Those are the 3 cards for 54 stats. But there's 2 more cards, and these 2 cards are really special, one especially special. I'll move that out of the way. I'll show you the first one and do the second one by itself. The first one is, I'll put it here, Carl Furillo. Carl Furillo played outfield, played 15 years, all for the Dodgers from the late 40s through 1960. He hit it for his highest batting average at .344 in 1953. He had a career .299 average and was just short of 300, obviously, and just a few hits shy of 2,000. I mentioned he had his career high batting average in 1953, and on the back of this card, in lighter pen or pencil, is that .344 average, because maybe an adult, maybe a kid, took what Bowman wanted and filled out the stats on the back for 1953. So it's really cool that in hindsight, this was his best batting average year. No one could have known that. But again, kind of cool that's documented here on this 53 Bowman color card. Beautiful color, beautiful picture. Carl Furillo of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Move that back here for a second. The last card and both of these were actually from 2 different sellers. So they weren't the same guy, but both had 53 stats on the back. The next one is the most excited about of all these 5 cards. It's the first card I have of this player, and I'm kind of doing kind of a quasi baseball Hall of Fame binder, 1 card per player type of project like many of us do. This is going to be my card for that player. It was going to be his 1960 Topps card. Had a great year in 59, but this card came up and I'm going to make this my card for this player. It is Eddie Matthews, 1953 Bowman color. Look at that, the Brave logo, how clear the jersey is, the color, the B on the hat. And this is Mr. Eddie Matthews' 2nd year card. His 52 Topps, I believe, is the most expensive Topps rookie card ever. At least I've heard people say that. It's in the high series likely, or it's the last card of the set. I forget which one, or maybe it's both. It's gotta be both. It's the last card in the set, obviously, but I think that's true. So, but this is his 2nd year card. So a 2nd year Matthews, I got this for about $36, $38, I think, give or take. And again, there's marking on it. That's why it was cheaper. But man, a 2nd year Eddie Matthews versus his 1st year rookie card is quite the difference. But this will be the Matthews card I have in my Hall of Fame collection for sure. But the reason he appears here is not just because he's Eddie Matthews, not just because he's part of the 500 Homer Club, but drum roll again, Mr. Eddie Matthews, MR at the top. Mr. Eddie Matthews had a fan who had this card in 1953 or thereabouts, and he filled in his 1953 statistics. Eddie Matthews played 17 years, mostly with the Braves. Of course, like I said, over 500 home runs. and his 47 homers and 135 RBI, both of which are here and correct, 47 and 135, were the highest of his long career in his second year. He finished second in the MVP race that year too, in 53, to some guy named Roy Campanella. So again, the seller marked it down because of the markings on the back, but again, I was inspired by our own Mookie Chilson. Thank you, Mookie, for this. I appreciate the inspiration. It's been a fun few cards to pick up. Never would have thought to do this, would have looked past them any other day, but a second year Eddie Matthews with stats on the back that actually are correct statistics, it's pretty cool. So that's him. So those are my 5 53 Bowman color stat backs. Again, want to show these off. Got these from a few different sellers on eBay. My first few 53 Bowmans color, so nice ones to have here. And let me pause the camera for 1 second. I'll bring it back and show you the cards I got from another YouTube friend of mine. Be back in 1 second. All right, we're back. Just had the dog barking and a phone call coming in, so I didn't want to do the video through that. So, but like I alluded to, I've got a great care package from a friend that a lot of you know already, Mike over at Jayhawker Vintage Cards. Check out Mike's channel. I'll link to it in the description, probably the title too. Mike, a good friend, his first 6 months on YouTube. Amazing collection, lots of energy, passion for the hobby, and enjoy getting to know him and talk to him both live on like a StreamYard chat and also on an interview I did of him probably 3-4 months ago. So thank you, Mike, so much for these cards. They were a lot. And I just want to say thank you again. So without further ado, let me show you the cards that Mike got me here. First off, why not? I'm an Ernie Banks guy. An Ernie Banks story booklet. I've seen people talk about these, but never have actually owned one or seen one in person. So thank you, Mike, for that. Very cool. There's 24 booklets. That's excellent. I'll keep Mr. Banks here because, again, I'm an Ernie Banks guy. Why not? Let's do some more Cubs. And Mike, again, knew who I liked and threw in a lot of Cubs cards, so thank you again for that. 61 Richie Ashburn is one of his 2 Topps cards in a Cubs uniform. And 1973 Topps Fergie Jenkins. I've got Fergie Jenkins auto. He came, I told the story before he came to an Air Force base my dad was stationed on in Europe when I was in 5th grade, I think it was, and signed a glove and signed a ball for me. And a card, actually, just the card, no, the card and the glove, not the ball. So I've always been a Fergie Jenkins kind of guy, knowing he did that, and being a Cubs guy for part of his career too. Great to have this card. Didn't have this card yet, so thank you, Mike, for this. I'll keep them right here for right now. Got a baseball all-time greats, Billy Williams. A lot of you who know me, I did a video on this set many, many months ago. I had this when I was, 4th, 5th grade. Never had the Billy Williams card though. So it's kind of cool to get this one now, 40 some years later. Never had it, but this is cool to have as a modern, I guess, Billy Williams card with a cool picture on him, of him as well. So 73 Topps Cubs managers with, of course, Ernie Banks on it. Thank you, Mike, for that. Got 87 Donruss. I don't know what the maroon brown borders mean. I should know that. Is it an update set? Is it a box set or another version? I never collected them, I guess, to have. I only had the black border ones that came in packs. So either way, I don't have these two. So thank you, Mike, for Andre and Ryan. We'll put those aside here. Mark Grace, post cereal. Never ate this cereal, never saw this card, but very cool to have this. That'll be great. I love Mark Grace. Watched him on WGN during my summers in the early 90s, so it means a lot to see that card. Ryan Sandberg as well. Thank you for that. Got a few more baseball here. Kellogg's 3D Superstars Bruce Sutter with who else but Tony the Tiger on it. I love that, of course, for obvious reasons. And 80 Dave Kingman. Next up, I do have this card, 61 Fleer, but it's a good card to have because I also want to pick up one of his Playing Days cards. He has a 1915 Cracker Jack, the last card in the set, number 176. I want to pick up that card. Now, Cracker Jacks are expensive. It's going to be a go to the card show and see it in person type of card and save up for it type of card, but Jim Hippo Vaughn had some pretty good seasons for the Cubs in the 19 teens. And 61 Fleers is close as I'm getting right now, but it's a good inspiration, Mike, for looking more at this card soon enough. And last but not least, I'm a football guy at heart. 2 84 tops, Mike Singletary and Walter Payton. Wonderful cards. I have these from my original 84 top set. Can't have enough. Doubles are great. Thank you, Mike, for these. They're in great condition. And man, you thought about all the right things in sending these things to me, and it was a lot. I didn't expect this much. Didn't expect a gift. So thank you, Mike, for that. Definitely check out Mike's channel, Jayhawker Vintage, if you haven't already. And Mike, thank you very much. Congrats on your 6-month anniversary, I think it was, on YouTube recently too. And just again, thank you very much. So with that, I'll leave the last picture on Mr. Ashburn, Mr. Fergie, and Mr. Ernie. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. See you soon.